Second and goal. Joe Burrow is going to try and pass, I think, to get some stats up. They should be running the football, but they're going to pass. Chase Brown. Oh, it's a false start! Is that not a false start? Am I blind? Am I blind? And no one talks about it. Like honestly, am I blind? No one talking. The comment. And no one talks about it. It's a fucking joke, man. They get a TD 41-31 to make it closer. How the French toast is that not a false start? Oh, that's a joke. That is a joke, man. He's been doing false starts all game. All game. It's the only way they can win. Oh, absolute losers, man. That's why I can't stand these refs. Can't stand the franchise. Absolute losers. They're singing the Who Dey chant. They're losing by 10. 72 points. That's wild, dude. Full movement. It's a full movement back. And the commentators don't talk about it. The refs don't do a flag, man. Crazy. It's so wild that should have been a false start. It drives me nuts. The Bengals chant was crazy too. Don't make it a game. Do not make this a game because I'll be pissed off. They're talking about it right now. Not always penalized. They're talking about it right now. What the fuck? Honest to goodness, I'm going to lose my mind. Going to lose my mind. How do you talk about it and not call it? Oh. So mad. I'm so mad. I want to ask you another thing too about this game, and that was the refs to do with the false start. I thought it was absolutely atrocious reffing. And the false start, the fact, you know what pissed me off the most, and I went absolutely wild in my life. Okay. The fact that the CBS or the NBC, whoever hosted it, they made a package after it. They had footage of him being false start.
Orlando Brown Jr. He was off.
At least five times.
Never got called. Never.
And
they're still holding. They were still holding T.J. Watt around the choking him around, and they were chipping him and they were double teaming him, and then he finally got through and did some stuff.
I really want to get into this. I want to get into it. 99 says Orlando Brown was starting it early in every play. Then Gene says when they showed the 8 plays of him doing that, they had the conversation between the two hosts saying, "Oh, sometimes the refs can call it and sometimes they don't."
They need to call it.
They should be calling it every single time.
If they're calling Joey Porter every time. And now they're watching George Pickens every time. If he says something out of his mouth or he makes some kind of hand movement towards the opposing team, they're flagging him. So it's the same.
I was frustrated because I feel like they give the offensive line a bit more leeway because their defense is so good. Herbig's a really good pass rusher. So is Highsmith. So is TJ Watt. They give him almost a gimme and say, we'll give him like another second or another half second. But if you watch that play, versus the Bengals in the end zone, he's a half step. Trey I did the tweet the other day. Today. Trey Essex, for the former Steeler, even said he had a 1.5 step kick in his get back before the ball was even snapped.
Yeah.
You can pinpoint pause it and you can see where it is.
But
it's crazy.
But also, too, when you play football, and I know I played to high school, I never played professionally, but even in high school, you would always tell the referee, like, hey, ref, look at number 66. You know what? He's starting a little early, ref. You know what I mean? You could tell the ref, like, hey, ref, you got to watch him because he's starting early or he's holding me all the time. Like, you're allowed to do that. And then if it's the referee's discretion to actually take a look. But they weren't looking.
Yeah, I'm going to try and bring it up as best I can, but you maybe I can't show the video, but I can show the screen. And
you don't want that copyright stuff.
Nah, I've just paused it, so we'll do the best I can.
Sometimes it's all you can do.
Here's the thing. I want to get us out of the way for a minute. You can see it right here. So we'll move us out of the way. We're in the background talking, and as you can see, he's already stepping out of his get right, and this is the ball there. The ball. I know you can't see it too well, but the ball hasn't moved. That right there on that.
He's already moved
on the Jack Burrow touchdown. He's already moved. He's got a half-back step here with his right leg. He's moved. That's a false start.
Yep.
You see that guy move. That ball is clear as day. Still standing there. Still, that's why it makes me friggin' frustrated.
So now they're not calling TJ Watt getting held, and now they're not calling the offensive tackle getting out of his stance early. So that's twice they're not calling stuff against Watt where it needs to be called. Not because hey, look, if it was happening to another team, it's the same thing, but it seems to be happening to TJ Watt more than anybody.
Yeah, but it's just overly frustrating as it's because that allows 7 points, and that when it gets them back in the game, right? Then we have the refs are letting him go. You can't let him go. The rule is a rule, and it's a clear false start. It's a false start.
Right. If that was Broderick Jones getting that half step, they'd be calling it all the time.
Yeah, it's an absolute joke. I was very, very furious, and I'll either show the live another time or make this a video. Or this was a video. I want your opinion, Bubba, all around the world to people to see this because
I totally agree.
Frustrating.
It was BS, and it was the whole game. And now they're not even calling that, and they're not even calling the holds against TJ, and now they're not even calling the tackles going against TJ starting off the ball early. They're not even calling either. They're not calling either one. And that's probably going to happen the rest of the season, and it's going to happen probably the rest of TJ Watt's career.
It's going to happen when the KC Chiefs get a bit of a advantage over our Steelers. And
remember when we played the Kansas City Chiefs in that playoff game, and your boy Debo got that tackle to get off sides, and it cost them that game? There was like 3 offside penalties against the offensive tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs. Same thing. They were calling it because they seen it one time, and then they were seeing it. But
it's just so inconsistent.
They're calling Joey Porter every time. Every time Joey lines up, they're throwing flags. He had 4 or 5 penalties today.
Yeah, I definitely saw at least, and then that's what annoyed me the most is when the NFL streaming, whoever it was, CBS, whoever, they actually made a clip of all the times he was false starting.